Welcome back to the channel. This is Pilot Ryan here. We are going to do the thrust reverse setup on the Beechcraft D18 from E-flite because we can. I've easily been doing thrust reverse with the avian program menu right there off the radio. And some of the twins don't have that functionality. So you have to go the old-fashioned way with the programmer box, just like I did on the A10 a while back. I did the E-flite A10 and I used this, and you have to program each ESC individually. It's really easy to do. When this is all said and done, I'll put a link to the E-flite A10 how to set up the thrust reverse video in the description. It's super easy, and it really is, I assume, going to be the same process. So I have the Beechcraft D18 right here on the stand. It's going to be so much easier to just take the wing off and get after it. The radio doesn't need to be on and hooked up to the plane to do this. You do just need to have power to the aircraft. So I'm topping off a battery right now. We're going to go ahead and get the wing off so we have easy access to this, and I can pull it up and show you how easy it is to do. So this is used for programming the Firma ESCs as well as the avian ESCs. So that means surface and air. It comes with a male-to-male servo lead. You may just need a regular extension to do the avian ones. We're about to find out. What's going on, chat? Hello, how are you? A little in the middle of the day. Just got done working, and this has been heavy on my mind. So let's go. So I'm going to pull over the Beechcraft, and I got my tools ready. Most people are going to watch this if they do after the fact. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet, even though it's a live, because that is awfully big for the hole. So this one is actually Phillips screws instead of 2 millimeters that we're used to so much. It fits, but it's pretty tight. Let me see if I can find something smaller really quick. I will be right back. I'm liable to have one sitting right here on the desk, to be honest with you. I have so much stuff sitting right here on the desk. Of course, it's all metric. So I will be right back. Just look at this beaut for a minute. I had one a little smaller than I want, but it's okay. What's going on, Dad, in the chat? Beautiful plane, this one. Everybody's probably out flying. This is the first kind of calm day in a minute. So I actually am going flying right after this. Somewhere. And hopefully this is helpful. It is really super easy to do it on the radio. But again, the ESC has to offer that functionality. And this is what they call smart light. So like diet version, where it doesn't actually have that. So you have to do it like this. And I've done it before, so I knew I could do it again. Awesome. 4 screws should be the end of it. And the this is all, yeah, this is going to just come right off. Wild Bill, how's it going? this has been together for a minute, so bear with me. And it's a connect. There's a connection here, like a wired connection. I know I just took the screws out. There we go. I just got to make sure I don't dump the fuselage. There it is. Receiver. Oh, this is awesome. I don't need to fuse at all. Okay. I was a little bit wrong. Okay. This is cool. This is cool. How hard is it to actually do this? I'm actually glad it's like this because I need the ESC to have power, and I like it that the receiver and everything is all right here. You guys are going to be able to see this. What's up, everybody? So it's a little bit hard to get to them, but they're right here. The ESC, there are two there that are shrunk wrapped together, and the little program lead is sticking out right there, and there's one for each ESC. So grabbing that extension was not a bad idea, and this programmer comes with a male-to-male because it's also for surface vehicles, and that's how you get into the ESC on those. But on these avian ESCs, we need to do it like this. So having an extension is going to be actually very helpful. And it's a smart wired deal. So the light color gray coming off the ESC is going to be the signal wire. And this is going to be a little bit tricky. This is going to be the hardest part of the job, to be honest with you, right here. It's not too bad, but having an extension is a really good idea. Polarity matches, and whatever you do, you have to do it twice. I think that's plugged in good enough. And black and gray are a little bit hard to discern apart, but it's possible. And I want to make sure, yeah, that's in good enough. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back a little bit because I got enough length, I think, to show you the let me grab this super janky old battery I've got. You do have to have power to the device. I'm taking the props off just because this whole thing is right here in my face, right? Al, on your Beechcraft, it does? This Beechcraft has been around for a minute, so it may not have that same function. I tried that and didn't have it, and my radio is up to date. But I'd have to get in here to do this to the ESCs anyway, so I might as well just show you guys what's up. I'm gonna take these props off. All right, that one's the left, this one's the right. And if I need to, I can put a piece of tape on them so you guys can see rotation. But we're, like I said, we're gonna roll mellow style. What's the best way to show you these? Probably like this. It's not too bad. The battery's the problem. Like, where do you put it? You let it hang. That's what you do. Okay. There it is. Signal wire on the inside. Can you guys see what's happening there? It's on. Connecting to the ESC. I just pressed the first button. Brake type disabled. So you scroll through, and honestly, if you are doing this and you want a better shot at this controller, my E-flite A10 thrust reverse video is exactly the same. So you can just select through all the stuff you need to do, and it should go up to like 13 things. 14. Differential. There's more now. Yeah. Restore default. So I'm going back to number 1. Brake type disabled. You're going to hit edit, and it's going to cycle through, and you go to reverse. Once you do that, you save it. Now I'm going to go to brake force, toggle through to 7, which seems to be what we always default to on this thrust reverse stuff. Save it. Now we're going to go scroll on. Everything's fine. Thrust reverse defaults to channel 7. I use safe because it's there. So I'm putting mine on channel 8, which is aux 3, because that's what I do. I've learned my lesson the hard way and double assigned safe and thrust reverse on the Viper 90, and it wasn't nice. So channel 8, aux 3. And then we'll put this plane back together, and I'll show you that this works in just a minute. So this is the Beechcraft D18. Smart ESC programmer. It is also a battery checker. It's got a balance lead deal right there. So don't forget to save it. And we're done. So, but there is more there, like rudder reverse, normal. These are things for twins that you might need to mess with if you want. The differential is set to 10%. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and turn off the differential. Let's just do it. So I'm going to cycle through the differential mix, and I'm going to go 50% is as high as it'll go. I'm going to 0, and I'm going to save it. And whatever I do on this ESC, I have to do the same thing on the other one. That's the only caveat, is you have to do this twice. So we're done on that one. So everything's good. I cycle through it, and you see that I'm set up the way I want. Number 1, brake type is reverse. Number 2, brake force has been set to 7. Everything else is on default until I get to number 13, where I moved it to channel 8 instead of the default channel 7. And then I did change differential. You don't have to do that, but these things come pre-programmed at 10% differential, as it seems. So anyway, good to go on that one. Now we're going to do the other speed control the same way. Easy, easy. And then 4 screws will test our workout. The only thing, I'm telling you, the hard part is just getting to the plug. So let's see, polarity's correct. It's hard to tell because they're both dark. Signal wire is the light gray, the lighter color dark one. coming off the speed control. You might be able to do this without taking the fuse off. I thought it might be easier to get at it this way, especially trying to show you all. I think that's definitely helpful, what I've done. So, all right, here we go. Plug it in again. So easy. It goes into the ESC middle plug. Signal wire up. That's your lighter color wire. You'll see this. If you don't, you need to update your business. Hit select. We'll connect it to the ESC. It's kind of nice that it shut up too, right? Brake tie, and here we are. We're right there at it, guys. Can you see? I hope you can. Is there a better way? I'm doing the best I can. I think that's probably it. So brake type. This is number 1. We are going to reverse, save it. Now we're going to the next thing. Hit the edit button, the second button, to cycle through to the brake force you desire. And 7 is what we're doing. It's what it seems to always ask for. 7. Killer. Now we're going to keep on cycling. And we already know 13 is the one we need. The rest of these are fine at the default they come in. 13, channel 7, absolutely not. Hit the edit button, put it on channel 8, which is going to be aux 3. I'll have to make sure when I radio up that I've done that. I already know that I want it to be the switch E. So that's done. Save it. And we're going to go ahead and turn off the differential. Just want to try it. And save that. Now we're going to double check everything's correct. Brake type, reverse. Disposition number 1. Disposition number 2, change the brake force to 7. Disposition number, everything else is okay. 13 is the next one that I changed to channel 8. Going to be aux 3 for me. I'll put it on my E switch. And then I went ahead and did the number 15 differential to 0%. Just take it off altogether and see what it's like. And so double checked, everything was fine. That means I saved everything properly. We're good to go. I can unplug this and we can set this up. How about it? What's up, everybody? Hard to read the comments when you're so busy delivering the goods. Okie doke. We're going back together, guys. Yes, we are. Right now. Antenna. Make sure it's out of the way for when we do get this back on. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, let me grab the fuse. And it is kind of nice. Take the lid off just so you see what's going on. And it kind of helps to line up these pins and the servo connection, hard situation. I do not believe I could have done that through forward programming. Now, some ESCs, you can do it right there off the monitor screen. But in this particular case, not so much. And by the way, if you need a lead, there's kind of an extra lead already in the plane, the safe select lead. That's if you wanted to do safe the old-fashioned way with the toggle switch and the sticks inward. You would put a bind plug there. You don't even need to do it that way. Forward programming is so easy now. But there's a lead for you if you don't have one. So here we go. I want this antenna wire a little bit more out in the open. There's actually a place to insert the wire in the fuse and make sure nothing's in the way. Line those pins up. So easy to see that you got it right. Lovely. Insert the antenna tube in the hole. You can't see it, just trust me. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on so I don't mar up the battery hatch. And now I'm gonna flip it over and screw it up. I'm gonna hold it because if I put the wing on the rack, you know what's gonna happen? The fuse will fall out the bottom. Okay, Kelly. Anytime, Clementine. Get 2 screws in. This plane is amazing. I've flown multiple different versions of this plane, and I ended up getting rid of my first one. Sold it at the shop, probably paid the electric bill. But I wanted one so bad, I had to get another one when I got a chance. So the one I had was a very early one, and if you watched my video on it, you'll see me beat myself up getting the whole thing sorted on CG and those types of things, because my first one, I did not have the manual or the jig. You know what? If you really want flat spins, you'd crank up that differential. These little V2 program box, the Smart ESC programmer, of course, it's at Horizon. I don't have this directly linked, but my Horizon link's in the description. But as well as you want to get points on that big old FMS Mustang, you can get that at Horizon as well. And I got that linked in there. Bobby ripped it. I want one of those so bad. Float reverse. Yeah, honestly, like this isn't even the kind of plane I necessarily want thrust reverse on, but I actually do feel a little bit more comfortable flying it at the smaller parking lots when I have brakes. You still got to be careful with them. All right, I'm liking it. Feeling good. So now we're buttoned up, and we're going to end up tucking the gear away so I can use this stand, my Lanta, because I don't want this sitting on the flaps, you know. But I do need to spin the. Should I just use tape? Yeah, let me just use tape to show you. Okie doke. But I'm gonna get those gear tucked away. So hold on. Radio on, NX10, where you been? Hopefully this is helpful. Anybody that wants to do this, All right, let me grab some, tuck these gear up. Done. All right, that's a little better. And I want to get some painter's tape really fast, and then we can see the rotation of this situation. Give me 1 sec. This will be slick. This will work. This will work. Differential thrust on the Winnebago, huh? Good idea. This is a safe way to do this. Right here, live action in the tiny little room. All right, you guys ready to check my work? You guys ready to check my work? All right. So everything's good. Let's go get rid of my throttle. I got to assign the channel. So I'm going into channel assign. Right now. And you go into system setup for that. Yep. System setup and then channel assign. And aux3 is on the R knob right now. I don't want that. I want it on E. And you guys can put it on whatever switch you want. I always do things the same way. So channel 8, aux3 is on E. Now I can go back to the main screen and I'm good to go. So let's get rid of throttle cut. Can you tell which way they're spinning? They're counter rotating. So they're spinning outboard right now. And now they're spinning inboard. I did it. Can you tell by looking at it in the video, you guys? I can. Let me trim it up as slow as possible. Come on. They're switching right there. Live action. All right, we'll put the props on just so, because also if you don't like the way the operation is, you can reverse it also in the travel adjust menu, so to say. So we are going to go ahead and put the props on and get it done. Let's do it. More tape. How about props? Just props. Why not? Do you inhibit E switch unless throttle is at 0? I've never had to do anything like that. So the stock props look like they spin inboard. Is that right, you guys? It seems right to me. I've been digging this plane. And now if you do this, your props do not windmill the same. So it's a really good idea to use the throttle trim to give yourself an idle. That way you're always spinning. Yep, inboard. So inboard is the like default proper operation. I did remember which prop went where, but I just wanted to double check. So let's go fly a kite. We'll move this up here. So, you know what? Let's try this. I want to keep the flaps off the stand. Okay. So inboard is the operation we desire. Throttle cut off. And I have it trimmed out. It looks pretty sweet. So that's inboard. Now they're going outboard. Outboard. And proper. So throttle cut on before I get in front of it again. So to me, I think about brakes the same way I think about my mower. Right now, my E switch is set up here. Down is correct operational rotation. I want correct to be here and then the brakes down. So that's easy. We're going to get in here and go to servo setup. It's like the first thing. Servo setup. It's going to say travel right there. Illuminate that. Roll it to reverse. Simply go down to aux 3. Press the button. Scroll back up to list. Get out of there. You're done. Go to the main screen. We're done. So now let's verify. So this should be down is the brake. So I'm going to flip it up to correct. Throttle cut, activate. What we're looking for is an inboard rotation. And that's what we got. Inboard rotation. Pushing air. Pulling from the front. There you go, switching gears. The other way. Pushing out here. And I'm going to put it back on. So throttle cut. So I've got, see how my thumb is always on the throttle, by the way, even if throttle cut's on. Normal operation. because I reversed it to make it the way I want it. And then like the brakes, more stop, more rate. The same way here, more rate. I always set up my rates to here and down, just like more elevator, down is more rate. So my low rates are always up. Proper operation is up, and then more anything that you would add is the brake, and it's there. And so the middle, it's a 3-position switch, and I'll show you something. So throttle cut, proper operation, middle switch. All right, proper operation. So when you do set up reverse thrust on a 3-position switch, I don't even worry about it. So up for me, you just saw me set that up for normal rotation. The middle position is brake, reverse thrust, and so is that one. It just is what it is. I'm sure you could change that if you wanted to, or put it on a 2-position switch, but so many switches these days are 3-position. There's also, you could put something on a roll dial. You could have probably put it back here on a slider. I'm just not interested, though. I got it the way I want it. So throttle cut is set. And because I slammed on the brakes while it was like rolling, I just want to double check. These are all still good. And they are. We're going to drop the gear and get out of here. You ready for that? I'm going to fly something, you guys. You have no idea. It's been windy forever. Landing gear. Let's go. And that's the beautiful Beechcraft D18. And who knows, it might be on Father's Day special. Get you one. But you can check out my video on it. It was good. Safe's already done. The rates are already done. Good looking bird. All set. Dundee. Well, kind of, John. Yeah, there always is. Not to the beach in particular, but to Horizon in general. Yeah, there's always links in the distro. But there's the beautiful D18, and I showed you how easy it was to do thrust reverse on it if you want to. Do the ESCs calibrate at the same time, or do you even calibrate the ESCs? Literally, I don't mess with it, but let's just try it real quick. Al says no need. So let's try it. Why not? Let's try it. I'm gonna get my face out of this though, because this is, and I'm gonna face it away from the computer. It should be the same because they do Y into the throttle channel. But if this is a typical situation, like old style calibration, what we're going to do is throttle stick all the way up, plug this in, wait for 2 beeps, and then slam it down. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We could get in the manual, I'm sure, but let's see what we get. And I want to make sure my throttle trim. I'm going to do that neutral idle thing, but for this, I want it in neutral position, the throttle trim. So let's go for it real quick. Let's see what we get. If I start cussing, you know what happened. All right, here we go. So I expect to hear a couple beeps fairly soon, and then I'm slamming down the throttle. All right, fire in the hole. You know why it didn't work? Two reasons. It didn't work because I had throttle cut. You cannot calibrate the throttle if the throttle cut is on. The safety was on. So now the safety is off. Now we just heard a regular chiming setup. We want to hear this thing act like it's going into old school programming. They start at the identical same time. I don't know if you caught it there. It's hard to catch it. But those two little beeps, it worked. I did it. You want to do it again? So that worked, y'all. That was it. That worked. You know what I've done on other multi-engine planes that had, let's say, a BEC or a couple weird things going on or whatnot? Oh, I know what I'm trying to say. So on multiple engine planes that had a battery for each motor, you can imagine calibrating would be a trick, right? Not necessarily. Not if you use the throttle lead in the receiver. So each motor has a battery. If you do it that way, you'll never have them synced up kind of the same. But I've done it on twin engines and 4-engine planes where I will use, because they do converge in on a throttle lead to the receiver, even though the power to the motors is separate. So in those cases, I've used the servo wire into the receiver. That way, power to all motors at the same time. Because you can imagine trying to listen to the beeps if it's a staggered situation, the way they power up. You can't plug them in at the same time good enough. Let's say there's 2 batteries for 4 engines. You can't get it. So I've done that in the past. There's probably videos of it out there. So that's what's up. I hope that helped. I don't think I needed to calibrate the ESCs, but we did that as well as set up thrust reverse with this handy dandy Spectrum Smart ESC Programmer version 2, which will also be a battery checker if you've got batteries with balance leads. You do need the smart checker if you got G2 batteries that do not have a balance lead. However, so, you know, that's me. That's me. So I am going to top this battery off because I think I'm going to go fly this plane and the Super Timber. And I don't think I have anyone to film it. And I don't care because it's the first day I've had a chance to do it. That's not been a windy piece of garbage. Thanks for tuning in to the Pilot Ryan Media YouTube channel. As always, I'll do a little bit of roll call and goodbye. I'm not going to keep you too long. I wanted to see how hard that was to do because I have a friend who wants to do it also. I actually want to get some of my hinge tape out and fix these decals. I was going to put a square on it, a little flat square to fix these decals. This thing, I let it sit in the car too long and peel up. But yeah, I do think after you've noticed, fellas, friends of yours who have done thrust reversing on their airplanes, and you'll notice that their props don't windmill the same as the rest of ours. Not a bad idea to trim in a little bit of idle, you know, because it does change the flight character a little bit if you've got these props just stop. It can change when you, especially when you power back up, right? Like if these things go dead, no windmilling, it's a twin and they counter rotate, so not a huge problem. But like imagine a single engine plane and you got your big old prop and it just stops because you got thrust reverse set up. When you power back up, you're starting from zero. So you have a lot more torque stuff going on than if you were to just let it windmill because you trimmed in just a little bit of idle. And again, I don't think you need it unless you're on water or you're worried about actually really slowing down the roll because you're flying in a small type of place. Kelly Klein, John Graham, Big Jim, CVO Hobo. Good to see everybody. Jim says, whenever you watch someone else's vid and follow their link to Horizon, cookies reset. That's true. Yeah, the last click wins it. So whoever you click through gets it. Thank you, Jim. Yard work. Kelly, whatever, dude. John Graham, let me guess. Yeah, link in the Discro. Always. Always. I mean, that's how, I mean, dude, silver spoon in my mouth. I mean, you guys, YouTube is lucrative. You had no idea. It's not. It's not. It's just something I love to do. Brian Phillips did this, but it took 3 hours. Yeah, Big Jim, I did nothing to the E-switch. I did nothing to it. Everything I did, you saw. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. And honestly, going channel 8, it puts it on aux 3 already, which is going to default to like a right knob or something. It's the minute you select whatever it is you want it to be, it's a done deal. I did go in and reverse it because I don't care about the gear up or down because it's on the back and it doesn't make sense. And you can see them. You know, the gear are either down or they're not, right? But with the brakes and the rates and stuff like that, brakes or thrust reverse, same thing in a way. Yeah, it worked. So let's see. Al's in here, Big Jim. 20 folks in here. We're not going to stay long. This does have differential thrust, and I also programmed it right out of it. I'm wondering if I'm going to like that or not. I saw Model Aviator do this differential job with the same programmer on his twin Timber, and he cranked it up to 50% full max. It's a good video, and you can kind of see what to expect. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's doable if you got chops. His advice was to incrementally do it if you were going to jack up the differential. I remember flying the EC 1500, again, differential thrust. And it was a windy day, crosswind, so I trimmed in some yaw like I kind of will sometimes, just a head start, just to kind of keep it settled. I don't trim it all the way in what I need, but I give myself a little bit of head start. So if I already know the correction is going to be right rudder, I'll trim in a little right rudder. So I did what I always do and trimmed the yaw on that EC 1500, and it's fine until you start waffling in the throttle, you know. And I didn't have the neutral set up on. I didn't have thrust reverse set up at all, but it comes with differential, and as knowing what I know now, probably a 10% mix. So when I was doing that day, I thought to myself, man, I wish I didn't have differential, and I was just doing yaw with the rudder itself, not also my thrust. The original EC 1500 did not have differential, so it's take it or leave it. It's easy to take it out. You know, this guys, that was so easy. And if you watch the E-Flight A10 thrust reverse video I did with this, if you want to see it up close a little bit better, I was totally blown away at how easy it was because I thought it was going to be a nuisance. So we're going to get going. Let's see what I miss. John Graham, yeah. For that big dog, that's a great price. I still want another 1.5 E-Flight. But dude, the presence of that 1.7, and I like the red tails one anyway, dudes. So, and Bobby and I can fly pretty good formation. So I think I have no business getting more planes, bros. But I really kind of think it would make sense to get that big 1.7. You know what I mean? But I got to get some other stuff done. What's up, Raitza? CVO Hobo, John Graham, Big Jim. Everybody, thank you so much for your support. Check out the videos. Check out the videos from your friends. Jeff from Lower Alabama, I think, has already got some flights on that Super Timber going on. And yeah. Ooh, that'd be nice, John. That'd be nice. Yeah, that video of Bobby flying that 1.7 was pretty nice. Now, if you want to see some sick landings on the 1.5 Mustang, go back in the archives of this channel and watch my video from Winnemac on like a ton of pavement. I think it's called Do You Even Land, Bro? Or something like that. Because here's the deal. When I first did the shakedown on the 1.5, and keep in mind, I've been flying really nothing but jets for a long time, and my warbird game was not strong. I bounced around. I mean, I worked it out, but on the 1.5, my shakedown video, I didn't hide the truth. Wing loading's a little intense on that one. I bounced it around. It was totally my fault. And I wanted to get it figured out and redeem myself, and I totally did. Wearing out the tread on the wheels at Winnemac. Do You Even Land, Bro? So you can see the 1.5 coming in really nice as well. But on the Winnemac video, I still had stock tires. I wanted to prove it could be done. So if you watch the Can You Even Land, Bro 1.5 E-Flight Mustang video, it's on stock tires. After that, I put the Robarts on, and it was amazing. But if I remember correctly, I was still on stock tires. I think I made it a point because I didn't want an unfair advantage. I wanted to show that it could be done. And I especially wanted to redeem myself after what I had done. Oh, Jeff in Lower Alabama. Can't wait to see it, man. Jeff said he got some sweet landings on his Super Timber today. I want to go fly that thing right now. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you. I got a couple batteries ready to go, 6S. I got a 4S ready to go for this thing. I'm not sure I'm going to take it because I don't want to spend the time to tape up I'll have daylight for a while. But anyway, guys, appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. My Instagram, I've been paying a little bit more attention to Instagram again lately, so there's some cool short clips there. Check out your buddies, support them, and it's free to watch people's videos, and it's free to be nice. So if you watch a video and you like it or you learn something, anybody who's making a video, whether it's me, Jeff from Lower Alabama, Reitza, CVO Hobo, John Graham, any of our buddies, Fred, say hey. You know what I mean? Say hey in the comments. We're out of here in 5. Hanger rats forever. 3 later. You're too good to be forgotten. We will see you next time. Bye now. Boom. Warbirds for the win. Let's go.